Hi, welcome to Bonita's Kitchen.
And thank you for joining us. Before I get back to work, just wondering, Bonita, what are we going to be cooking up in Bonita's Kitchen today?
Good question, Raymond.
Good.
We are going to be making a delicious boiler of winter soup. So if that interests you...
Well, why don't you stick around?
And what are you doing on the wrong side of this camera?
Oh.
I think he might be making this soup today.
Oh.
No?
No, I think I'll let you do it. Alrighty, toodaloo.
You get back to work. So if that interests you, let's get started. And what I'm going to be making today is a delicious boiler of winter soup. Of course, this soup I'm making today is called fresh beef soup. We're going to be making it with some stewing beef. I'll talk a little bit about that. Here in Newfoundland and Labrador, we love our fresh beef soup. So if that interests you and you like to know more about it and to make a boiler of yours, stick around and let's get started. I got about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of stewing beef, and any cut, of course, I'm going to be making cutting it into very small pieces, just soup size pieces, I'm going to say, as you can see, like this. And again, I got this partly frozen, my stewing beef here, so it's easier to cut. It's not as, I guess it's not as soft. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that for you.
Yeah, and I bet you want for me to cut the rest of that beef while you're talking.
I think that would be a good plan, Raymond.
Okay, I'm away from the camera.
Now, this time of the year, I'm sure you agree, we all like warm soups. We're into the new year. We're still in the middle of a very big pandemic. And of course, we're all keeping safe. That's my prayer. And I hope that everybody is well stocked in their pantry and their freezer, because this is the type of soup that we would call your go-to soup when you don't want to go outside, when you just want to take out that boiler and make a pot of delicious soup. And that's why I'm calling it a winter soup, because usually here in Newfoundland and Labrador, hey Raymond, we're in the middle of a blizzard. We can't go outside, so we're stuck inside anyway. We don't need a pandemic for that.
And you can't go wrong with a nice bowl of soup.
And some fresh rolls or bread.
Yeah.
So again, you don't have to use fresh beef. I'm saying fresh beef. It's just a package of stewing beef. You could use moose, caribou. You could use whatever game meat you got. Or you could use chicken, turkey, whatever is available in your fridge. This is not a type of soup that you got to go out and buy what you need. I'm going to explain all of those ingredients as we go. Of course, I'm using a ton of root vegetables and some dried herbs. I'm not using fresh herbs here today. So I'm going to get Raymond to finish cutting up that beef, and I'm going to tell you what's next.
I'm going to get paid double for this, I'm sure.
Oh, you will. You will.
Meet me down by the sea.
You're doing a lovely job, Raymond.
So.
Getting it all.
That's where we will be. Is that the song?
That's the song, and I thank you for your help. You're doing an amazing job.
Alrighty, now I'm going back down by the sea.
Well, you go wash up those ends first.
Okie dokie.
So I might as well tell you that Raymond's New Year's resolution was helping me more in the kitchen. Now, whether he can keep that wish, I don't know. He's behind the camera doing an amazing job. I'm asking him so much already. But you know what? Teamwork. Teamwork. And that's what it's all about.
It's like our good friend Pam. She knows what we're talking about. Say, can he do more than wash dishes?
And I think she's right. She put him in his place. So right now, all of that delicious beef, fresh beef, is cut up and ready to go. Raymond did an amazing job. I'm going to put this into the boiler. I'll show you that. And then I'm going to add in some herbs, salt and pepper. and some broth. I'm going to be using beef broth here today, but again, this is a meal or a soup, a winter soup, that you don't have to go out looking for ingredients. So if you don't have beef broth, if you don't have chicken broth, maybe you got beef bully, which you can make your own broth, or you can just use water, whatever you got available. So now let's start adding in those ingredients. Now you can make this soup a couple of ways. You can start frying your beef and get a nice charring on it, a caramelization, and that would make it amazing as well. But if you didn't want a no-fuss soup, this is the way you would do it. You put the beef or meat of choice into your boiler. We got about a teaspoonful of thyme. This is not bang on measurements. You could use as much or as little as you want. So if I show you the ingredients in my recipe and it sounds different in the video, that's because I'm kind of like you, all over the place with it.
Is the old word a smidgen?
A smidgen, yeah, you can do that.
Of this.
Teaspoonful of pepper, and black or white pepper. Teaspoonful of onion powder. And I'm going to be using 2 teaspoonfuls of sea salt. Now here in Newfoundland and Labrador, we like using salt beef. So if those of you got access to salt beef, that would be a nice choice for you to add in there instead of the sea salt. And I'm going to be using 3 or 4 bay leaves. So I'm going to be pouring in here beef broth. I'm going to share you a link as well to how you make your own broth, your stock. I'm going to keep about a cup in my container here because I'm going to be using tomato soup in this. You could use a tomato paste as well. And I want to rinse out the can. I can't leave that delicious tomatoes in the can. I'm going to stir this around and put this on my back burner, and then I'm going to tell you what to do next. So my soup is back on, my beef is boiling back on the back burner, and it's going to be there for about 30 minutes. I want to get a nice little boiling on that there, get the beef partly cooked, and whatever type of meat you're using, you could do the same. And again, if you want to fry it first, then put the broth in and start to boil, you can do that as well. Both ways will be equally as delicious. I'm going to show you now, I'm going to be using potatoes in this soup, parsnip. If you had parsnip before or never had parsnip before, please add it into your soups. You won't regret it. Delicious, sweet vegetable. I got some local carrot and some turnip. It's rutabaga, but we call it turnip here in Newfoundland and Labrador. And I used a half one of this medium turnip, and I cut it into just small little cubes like this. As well, I got there some onion, that about 1 medium. I got about 3-4 sticks of celery, and I got the celery tops. So that's all we need to do there. So after the 30 minutes is up from boiling your meat, I'm going to show you that, your fresh beef. I'll show you that in a second, I should say. I drained the water off of my vegetables, and I usually like to cut it off a little bit in advance and soak the vegetables. That's just an old thing that I've been doing forever. So I'm going to show you what it looks like at the 30-minute mark, and then we're going to add in the rest of our ingredients. So this is our beef and our bay leaves, our broth. I put about 6-7 cups of broth in there to start the boil on the beef. I'm just going to toss in all of those root vegetables. Again, as much as you want. I'm going to leave that to you, but I do have a recipe posted under this video and as well on our website. And I guess here on YouTube it's either an arrow pointing down or a see more on the bottom. So that's the vegetables there. Now I'm going to add in the onions. You can do this two ways as well. You can add onions in raw into the soup and let it all boil there together and have all those flavors, or you can partly fry them, saute them and add it in. But I'm just showing you the way that we would do it here, just to make it quick and simple. I'm going to leave the celery for about 15-20 minutes into boiling our vegetables before I add that. Now I'll tell you how long to put this on for. It smells amazing in here. I love making soups and we both enjoy eating them, of course. I'm going to put this back on our stove top for about 20 to 30 minutes. So about 15 minutes into boiling this, you can add in your celery and let that boil with it, because turnip is a little more tougher than the rest of the vegetables, and that's in there, and we want that to have a little bit more cooking time. Of course, your soup could boil as long as you want it on there, and you can have it simmering until you're ready to eat it. So let's do that. We'll add in the celery, and then I'll tell you the rest of the ingredients we're going to put on there. So that's 20 to 30 minutes boiling again. So 15 minutes into cooking your vegetables with your beef, pour in the celery, chopped in little pieces, and again as much or as little as you want. And I'll leave the ingredients in under this video and let it boil now for another 15 minutes before we go to the next step. Raymond would always say, nothing like listening to the pot boiling.
Oh, you got that right.
And it just, what a welcoming thing when you can just hear it galloping. So now what I'm going to do is add in the can of tomato soup, or you could use tomato paste, whatever you got available.
And then we'll say, meet me down by the sea.
So you're just going to add in all of that tomato soup. And remember, to add in the extra broth, about a can, and stir it around and just add that in with the soup. So as you got the can cleaned out, plus you're getting all of that delicious tomato soup in with your fresh beef soup. At this point you can test it, see if it's got enough seasonings in there, if you want some more thyme, some more pepper, and you can add it in now. And what I'm going to do as well, this is not traditionally here in Newfoundland and Labrador, but I'm going to add in 1 clove of garlic. I just like adding it into my soups. It just gives it that little extra hint of flavor, and it's so tasty. So that's it. We'll let that boil for another 15 minutes. Then it's good to serve. Our winter soup is ready to be served. Now let's ladle up a taste. Now look at our delicious winter soup, which is here in Newfoundland and Labrador today. For us, it's going to be a fresh beef soup. Of course, at this stage, if you wanted to, you could have added some noodles or some rice to your soup, whatever you enjoy, or just leave it like this. We like it just like it is here. And I'm just going to top it with some more extra beef there. And just look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Too good to eat.
2 scoops from me, please.
Oh, yes, you
I worked.
I know, you worked for your money today, for sure.
Okey-dokey. Getcha.
Now, I hope this interests you today. This delicious boiler of winter soup. Of course, our choice of winter soup today was the fresh beef soup. We are expecting some snow later this weekend, so I'm thinking that we'll be ready, because we're going to have lots of leftovers and probably some that we can gift to our neighbors.
Oh, our good friends.
Oh, I know. So, and have a little sample. I'll drop my spoon, only I still got some on there. It's just the right amount of flavor for me. I feel that the amount of spices, salt, pepper and everything is just enough. I'm gonna have another little taste.
It was dropped a spoon,
Dropped a
wasn't
spoon, delicious. I got some fresh rolls here with some butter on it, which I'm going to dip into this soup very shortly. Some homemade bread, I'll share that link with you. And all I did was the tips of the celery, I just put on the top as my garnish, and that just makes it that extra flavorful. This is it, as good as it gets. So good. Sip of my tea, and of course take a few minutes to thank each and every one of you for stopping by today and watching this video of our winter soup. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, the recipe will be posted in under this video. If you can't find it there, visit our website www.bonitaskitchen.com. You can also visit our Facebook page. We would love to hear from you. And of course, you can always stop by here on our YouTube channel. We also like when you send us a picture of your delicious meal that you've cooked from our Bonita's Kitchen channel, and you can send it to us at bonitakitchen@gmail.com. We love it. Raymond puts a lot of pride in putting those videos together.
I'm one of those days when you see the full album of viewers' photo album from Bonita's Kitchen. It's going to be a good show.
We love when we share all those with you, because it does us good to know that you're enjoying our channel and our recipes we're sharing with you. So on behalf of myself, Raymond, and our team here at Bonita's Kitchen, we'd like to do a big shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to our channel. Stay tuned next week where we bring you another delicious recipe, and enjoy this one and all of our recipes we got posted to date. From our kitchen to yours. Thank you for joining, and have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you got admin. That worked like put into helping with this soup. Yeah.
Made it very tasty. Especially when you cut off the
It's
meat.
got that, yeah. But you gotta admit, I deserve 2 thumbs up.
Yes, you do. Right, an extra bowl of soup.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget your bun.
Well,
And don't forget to join us again on Bonita's Kitchen.
A journey in culinary, always an open door. Bonita's Kitchen to yours. Bonita's Kitchen, Bonita's Kitchen to yours.